This is our first attempt at making a homemade pizza, and I cheated. I went to a traditional Italian deli or market, I guess it is, in the south end, the Italian section of Hartford. Everybody knows who D&D is. I don't know how many pizzas this is going to make. And another important thing I don't know is that when I went to the internet, there were about 1 million, count them, 1 million recipes for pizza. So I decided to wing it. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. And we like thin crust, so that's what I'm going to attempt to make. Everybody in my family knows that I have been using a wine bottle as a dough roller since the 70s. I see no reason to change that now. So once I get this to be somewhat round, then I guess the stretching happens. I have no idea what I'm doing. Really no idea. I'm not sure this film is a good idea. If this is successful, then we will then make our own pizza dough and make another one of these bad boys. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to put some cornmeal on here, get this ready, stretch it out, and hopefully it stays stretched. I have no idea. Just supposed to help it not stick. This is going to be tedious. You might want to do some pauses though. How's that for a big pizza? Oh, come on. Wish I had some clothespins. Uh-oh. Holy pizza dough, Batman. Okay. I'm not getting as winded as I was 5 minutes ago. I think I'm getting the hang of this now. Funny thing is, when we were kids, growing up in Troy, we used to make this god-awful black olive pizza. I think that's where I learned to really hate black olives. But I don't know what we used for the dough. I don't remember. I read in many of the recipes I perused that you're supposed to drizzle olive oil on top of the crust to prevent it from getting soggy, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm not a chemist, a bakery chemist. So there you have it. And now we're going to put some sauce on. No wonder pizzas are so expensive. That's all I have to say. now the sausage goes on, which is also from D&D down the street. This needs to be spread out more. Okay, then I thought I would, let's see, maybe I'll put the basil on next. It looks nicer when you roll it up and then cut it this way, so it makes like little strips. And then I'm going to spoon a little more sauce on there. Doesn't seem like there's enough sauce, but I don't want it to overrun either. Maybe I should leave well enough alone. But I was brought up with German genes, and whenever you think somebody served you enough, there's always one more dollop that has to go on your plate. So this is a German pizza, or German-esque. Now I guess I'll just toss these on, hope for the best. Bill, don't let me forget your anchovies. I'm gonna put 2.5 on here. Okay, here come these bad boys. Uh-oh. Well, at least these don't have any little hairs on them like the ones you get in the restaurants. I'm going to do a half a can of these, Bill, for your side of the pizza, so we have one for another pizza. Okay, that I'm just going to decided to use mozzarella and just a couple of dabs of ricotta because I love that cheese. And the ground up Asiago we can sprinkle on it after it's cooked. Okay, the only thing I have left is I did chop off 2 cloves of garlic, and I sauteed portions of them with the onions and the peppers separately, and I decided not to use the raw garlic because I think it's going to be too strong. I have seen raw garlic on commercial pizzas, but I just think it'll be too strong, so I'm not going to do that. So now I have plenty of garlic to go with something else. Okay, now I'm ready to put the cheese on. Actually, the ragat probably should have been at room temperature, so this is for Bill's benefit. I'm going to dirty yet one more bowl to get it kind of close to room temperature because it's going to be hard to spread. The mozzarella, it doesn't matter. I did not grate the mozzarella. I'm using some a log that I actually had left over from when I made my eggplant parmesan, and they're like little medallions. So I'm just going to slice them up and just place them around here. But I've had regat on pizza before, and it's very delicious. Another utensil, another bowl. Another sundae at Shea 242. And I'm not measuring anything. I'll know when it looks like I want it to look. And of course we have the super economy size, so now I guess I'm committed to making stuffed shells, which I haven't made in a couple of years, but they're delicious. And when you do stuffed shells, just to digress a little bit, you should use the biggest shells you can get so you get more bang for your buck to stuff them, because they're very labor intensive. So I get the shells that are about this big. And then I fold them like this, like those little change purses that people had back in the olden days, where you squeeze it this way and the little mouth opens up and... Never mind. And these I got at Costco for fairly inexpensively. And they've already been pre-sliced. And what you do with mozzarella, if you're going to slice it, is you put it in the freezer for a little while to make it really firm, and then it slices easier. So there. Okay, how am I going to do this? See what it looks like here. I'm just going to do little pieces, which is like big fat shredded. That's my theme song, in case nobody's ever heard it. And my father used to get a nervous twitch every time I whistle, because I can't whistle to save my life. I think I can, but nobody else does. Now, would you like little mozzarella covers on your anchovies, or just side by side? We aim to please here. I think 2 medallions is quite enough. I did read on one of the many recipes that you shouldn't put too many toppings on, and I'm getting a little carried away, just cause I can. So that can go there. Got a little guy over here. I have to leave some room for some regat too. And the regat, I also use purple onions. I've been cooking with them lately because they have kind of a sweet taste to them. So they're not really caramelized, but they've been pretty well cooked. And I only used one small onion about this big, and only 1/2 of a good sized pepper like this, because I didn't want to overdo. And then here's the mozzarella. Okay, that's that. What else am I going to do? I guess I'll put the mozzarella on now. It seems like I should have something colorful on top of the cheese, but I guess when it melts it'll look different. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about. How about some freshly ground pepper on top? It seems to need some kind of garnishing thing, but I didn't want to put the basil on top because I didn't want the basil to burn. Maybe I should have put it on top. I don't know. I have no clue. We'll see what happens. That should do it. And if anyone has any comments about some kind of pretty garnish to put on, this looks kind of not pretty. Okay, one more. Alright, so now this is ready. We're not going to, it's 6 o'clock, I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this out for a little while, and then we're going to put on our t-shirt and shorts and fire up to 500. And I expect it to be very warm in the kitchen. And by the way, we're having our 7th straight snowstorm. Is it 7th or 6th? It's snowing as we speak, and but pretty soon it's going to be 40 degrees, and we're going to start having flooding any day now. So it should be quite festive until about mid-April. Okay, I'm finished for now. Okay, folks, we're at 500. I've put on my summer attire. flip-flops. We're ready to rock and roll. It's going to take, this is also on a low burner, the lowest burner in the stove. And we're going to put the timer on 12 minutes. I think I'll put it on 10 minutes just to be safe. And we'll take a look at it. So that's 10 minutes, and after it cooks, you will see the unveiling of the finished pizza, and I'll be cutting it after it cools down a little bit. I didn't see any of that in the myriad of recipes that I looked at. And again, I just want you folks to know that we miss boating greatly, but this is what we do to have fun and a few laughs during the winter when there's no boating involved. So we're having a good time, and I hope you enjoy it too. We are finished with the pizza, and I'm going to take it out and let it cool down a little bit before we use our new implement from Ocean State Job Lot. Carol Ann, thank you. And that's it. We're finished. I'll take it out of the oven now. Let it cool down a little bit. One thing I noticed on the recipes that I saw, it never, you know, when you go to a commercial pizza place, they don't put it on a rack, so I'm not going to, but it doesn't seem right to me. Oops, we want to warm up the kitchen because it's 26 degrees out right now and snowing. But it goes against my instincts to not put this on a rack, but I'm not going to because it wasn't in the recipes. So this is what we do for fun when we can't go boating. We try new cooking things, and this is what the finished product looks like. See how nicely browned the crust is. So I'm hoping that it's also brown underneath. We'll find out shortly. No rack, and that's it. I'm just going to let it cool down a little. Oh, I know what I can do. Hang on. Are you still there? Let me see what it looks like underneath. Ooh, it feels crispy. Whoops. It feels like I can't get it out of the pan. So. Looks good. Nice and brown. Smells yeasty, garlicky. What more can you ask for? Okay then. I'm happy. Shay, and this is good night from Shay 242, and stay tuned for more recipes until we are boating again.